All right, ready for another deep dive? Today, we're tackling Passion.io. You know, that platform promising to turn your passion into, well, a profitable app.
Yeah, the ones claiming you can have your own app up and running in less than a month for like the price of a fancy coffee.
Sounds a bit like those get-rich-quick schemes, right? $1 million a year, just from an app. So we're going to put on our skeptic hats today and break it all down. Features, claims, and especially those success stories they love to brag about.
Which is exactly what makes this deep dive so interesting, right? Because at first glance, Passion.io, it does tick a lot of boxes, especially for folks who aren't like coding wizards.
Yeah, that whole no coding required thing definitely caught my eye. They've got these drag and drop templates for everything, from like coaching to selling stuff online. Is it really as easy as plugging in your expertise and bam, you've got yourself an app?
Well, I doubt it's that simple, but it does seem like they're streamlining the process compared to, traditional app development, which can feel pretty overwhelming if you're not a tech whiz.
And speaking of overwhelming, their pricing seems almost too good to be true. We're talking a few $1,000s max compared to, tens of thousands for custom development. That's a game changer for smaller businesses.
Huge difference, yeah. But remember, it's not just about launching the app, it's about what happens after. Can Passion.io actually deliver on those big promises of turning your passion into, serious income? Because that's where those eye-popping projections they throw around come in.
Right, because they're not relying on that old get 1 million downloads and pray for ad revenue model, are they? Passion.io seems to be pushing a different approach: subscriptions, high-ticket services, selling stuff directly through the app, basically. Building a business, not just chasing downloads.
Exactly. And that's where we need to really put on our analytical hats, right? Passion.io throws around these success stories like Confetti Smart Workout, Fit in 20, both claiming, huge revenue through their apps. But are those the norm or just like lucky exceptions?
All right, so we've got these impressive claims, but let's actually dive into the platform. What's it actually like building an app with Passion.io? Is it seriously as easy as they make it out to be?
Well, their marketing definitely plays up that whole drag and drop thing.
Right.
Pick a template, tweak it a bit, and boom, you've got yourself a real app.
See, that's where I get a little, skeptical. Because templates are great, but they can be kind of limiting. How much customization are we really talking here? Can you make it, your app, or does it end up looking like every other Passion.io app out there?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, they do talk about being able to change the branding, colors, fonts, even play around with the layout a little.
Okay.
But you're right. The real test is seeing it in action beyond the, perfectly polished examples they showcased.
Totally. And speaking of those examples, let's dig into one that caught my eye. Smart Workout. They're selling fitness equipment and apparel, and they claim their Passion.io app really boosted their revenue.
Right? Smart Workout. What's interesting about them is they didn't just throw their product catalog into an app and call it a day. They actually use those community features pretty cleverly.
Intriguing. Tell me more.
So they built these challenge groups right into the app where users can, join in, do these workout challenges together and motivate each other.
So it's that whole community accountability thing that keeps people engaged.
Exactly. And on top of that, they use those push notifications, but not just for generic reminders. They'll share healthy recipes, workout tips, even motivational quotes.
Smart. Tapping into that bite-sized content people are looking for these days.
And it's working. Apparently, engagement's through the roof, and they've had a big jump in sales for their in-app nutrition guides.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you actually make money from an app, right? It's not just about the features themselves, it's how you actually use them.
Nailed it. And that's a key takeaway from that Smart Workout case study, right? Passion.io gives you the tools, but it's up to the creator to actually use them strategically to make an experience people actually want.
And a big part of that seems to be the community aspect, which, makes sense. People want to connect, especially online.
Absolutely. And Passion.io gets that, clearly. Group chats, forums, even those challenge communities we talk about, it's all built in.
Like having a built-in support group right in your pocket.
And don't forget about those push notifications.
Oh, yeah, those can be a double-edged sword for sure.
Totally. But used well, they can be really powerful.
Okay, so I'm curious, how does Passion.io recommend using them without, being that annoying app? We've all been there.
Right. Nobody wants notification overload.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've seen, they stress personalization, segmentation.
So not just blasting everyone with the same message.
Exactly. You divide your audience based on what they're interested in, where they are in your program, stuff like that. And then you tailor the notifications.
So maybe a reminder about a deadline to those who haven't finished a module, or a new workout to those who like that type of training.
Exactly. You're giving them something useful, not just adding to the noise.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've seen design, community features, push notifications, all that. But what about the actual, content? What can creators actually put in the app?
They seem to be all about multimedia, which is key these days.
Yeah, nobody wants to just read walls of text anymore.
Right. So Passion.io lets you upload videos, audio, PDFs. You can still have text, of course, but
It's like your own little Netflix library right in the app.
they actually use that line, Netflix for your knowledge.
Catchy. But content is one thing. What about actually structuring it into online courses or programs? How do they help make that engaging?
Well, they have a whole feature for building interactive courses, and they say people actually finish those courses at a higher rate, which suggests they've put some thought into it.
Interesting. What makes them so interactive?
They have quizzes built right in.
Ooh, I love a good quiz.
Me too. And they're not just for fun. They actually help people learn, test their knowledge, see what they need to review.
Win-win. So we've got multimedia, interactive courses, community features. It's sounding pretty comprehensive, but let's be real, a lot of creators, they need to make money from this.
Absolutely. It's great to share your passion, but it's got to pay the bills too, right?
Exactly. So how does Passion.io handle that whole, making money thing? Can they actually deliver on that promise, turn your passion into profit? So they make a big deal about the monetization side, which, appreciate that. But how does it actually work? Do they have their own payment thing? What about fees?
Right. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, they've got a few ways for creators to actually, bring in the cash.
Okay.
Subscriptions seem to be a big one, which makes sense for ongoing content, community access, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can have different tiers like, basic, premium, just like those streaming services everyone's hooked on these days.
So basic gets you the main stuff, and then premium, maybe there's bonus content, live Q&As, access to a special forum, something like that.
Exactly. Gives you options, lets you appeal to different people, different budgets. And here's the cool part. You can sell digital products right through the app itself.
Really?
Yeah, like ebooks, templates, whatever. You've got no need to mess around with those other platforms. Keep more of your own money.
Hold on. So I wouldn't have to set up a whole separate shop somewhere else, deal with all those different payments. That's a game changer.
Exactly. They've streamlined it, which is huge for creators who are already, juggling a million things. And if you do one-on-one stuff like coaching, they've got that covered too.
I was just going to ask about that. What about scheduling, payments, all that for those kinds of services?
They hook right into those scheduling platforms, like Calendly. Someone books a session with you, pays for it, right there in the app. No more messy back and forth.
It's like a whole mini business all in one place. This is sounding less like a simple app builder and more like, a whole business solution, especially with the whole community aspect we talked about.
For sure. They're aiming to be more than just a tech tool, right?
Huh?
They want to help creators build real businesses. And their pricing reflects that it's subscription-based, starting at $97 a month.
Which, let's be real, is less than some people spend on coffee. But, I got to ask hidden costs. What should people be aware of?
You're right to be cautious. That base price is tempting, but yeah, read the fine print. Transaction fees, for one.
Right.
They don't exactly advertise them, but they do mention processing purchases through third-party checkouts or their own system passion payments.
So there's probably fees attached to each sale then.
Most likely, which makes sense. Any payment system's going to have those.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something to factor in, especially if you're selling a lot.
Makes sense.
Another thing, those integrations they brag about. Connecting to other tools is great, but some of them, especially the fancy ones, might cost extra, either through Passion.io or the other company.
So it's key to really know what's included in that base price and what's going to cost you extra.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, and one more thing, support. They've got basic support for everyone, but if you want a dedicated person, faster app launch, that's an upgrade Passion Plus.
Which I'm guessing doesn't come cheap.
Nope. They're a bit vague on the details on the website, so it's always best to contact them directly.
Transparency is key. It sounds like Passion.io has a lot going for it, but with any business decision, do your research, weigh the pros and cons, make sure it fits your goals and your budget.
Couldn't agree more. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of having your own app, reaching more people, but the tech is just one part. It's your content, your marketing, how you connect with people that really matters.
So final verdict is passion.io, this app building paradise they claim to be.
We can't answer that for you, but hopefully this deep dive has given you the info you need to figure that out for yourself. We've gone through the whole shebang, the interface, making money, building a community, even those push notifications.
And remember, building a business, app or not, it takes time, effort, and a whole lot of passion.
And on that note, here's something to think about. What can you do with an app that you can't really do anywhere else? What kind of interactive stuff, connections, personalized content can you create that'll make your app stand out?
Great questions to consider. No matter where you are on your journey, knowledge is power. Keep asking those questions, keep diving deep, and keep that passion alive. Until next time.